Alright guys, RazorwireReviews here, back with another video. I'm going to try and do this without my kittens disturbing me. Saucy90 recently put a video up, his 5 favourite matches of all time, and also matches he'd like to see in the future. And I thought it was a cool idea. Well, I mean, it's not like the most original idea, but it's I haven't seen many videos of people actually doing it. It seems like an obvious thing to do. But it appealed to me to make a video about my favourite matches, so I thought I would do that as a bit of a response to him, kind of thing. So yeah, let's kick it off. You might be wondering what the hell's going on back here, but it'll all become clear very soon. Number 5, Shawn Michaels versus the Undertaker, WrestleMania 25. This match, it's like a perfect match. It is like Shawn Michaels is my favourite wrestler of all time. And these two they killed it. It was absolutely perfect. Well, apart from Undertaker nearly killing himself, but, that just added to the drama of the match, and the way they use that in the match, they're just pros. And I thought the build-up was amazing. It only took them 4 weeks to have one of the best build-ups I've ever seen to a match. That's how long it takes, if you really got the talent to put over a match. And the match it was worked so well. The pacing, the psychology, the spots, near falls, I remember at the time everyone was laughing so much at how stupid the Undertaker looked when Shawn kicked out of the tombstone. Taker was just like in shock, but I thought it was great. I thought it was fucking awesome. I just thought, wow, that was, there's a moment for the Undertaker to show some kind of emotion, and that was it. And it was just, I just made the match incredible, and the finish I could see where the finish was coming when Shawn did a moonsault off the top and Taker caught him into a tombstone. I knew they were going for it about 5 seconds before they did, and I was like, oh my god, please work, please work, please work, and it did, and I was just like, yes! It's a perfect match. It should be higher, really. But anyway, on with number 4. We have Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13. A submission match, I believe it was. Not a I Quit match. And here we go. There's Charlie jumping up and being a little shit. So Bret and Austin, one of the best feuds of all time, in my opinion. He's wandering around by the tripod. This could get tricky. Okay, let's hope this still works. And he doesn't knock the fucking thing over. Bret and Austin, one of the best feuds of all time. Just a real feud, 2 wrestlers who could just have a great match. And, just loads of intensity as well. I love Bret, I love Austin, 2 of my favourites. And that match was just... it's great. It's got everything in it. It's just a brawl, it's an all-out fight, really. And of course, it's one of the most iconic images in WWE history, where Austin was putting the sharpshooter wouldn't tap out. There we go. There's Charlie wobbling the tripod. So yeah, I absolutely love that match. It's one of my favourites. It's just when people say, oh, wrestling isn't that all fake? I think no, it's art, or it can be art. And I think that is an example of wrestling being art. That match was just awesome. And then we have on number 3. Now, I don't know whether I should include this or not. Maybe I should have gone with a different match. But Shawn Michaels versus the Undertaker, WrestleMania 26. It's not a better match than the first match they had at WrestleMania. I know that, but I prefer it. I think. That being said, I haven't watched it in a while, but I just thought the build-up was... it ranks up there with maybe, it might even be the best build-up to a match I've ever seen in my life. Just that video they made after the Elimination Chamber, about Shawn Michaels' obsession about the Undertaker, was one of the best videos I've ever seen. It was just, the story they worked around that was just perfect. I use the word perfect a lot. It was fantastic. And the match itself was great. I mean, they main evented WrestleMania, no titles on the line. And, people knew it was going to be the match of the card, and it was. And it was Shawn's last match, Who can say that they retired at WrestleMania in the main event in one of the best matches they've ever had at the end of their career, end of a very long career? It's the best wrestling retirement of all time, and it's one of my favourite matches. The ending, it's just incredible. There's a lot of good psychology, good spots, good near falls. Near falls are almost kind of just like the same thing we've seen the year before, but we had some new stuff thrown in there as well, obviously, in the finish where Shawn knew he was done. And so he signalled to the Undertaker to just do it, just get it over with, and Undertaker just couldn't do it. He's like, and seeing that from the Undertaker, just showing mercy, kind of in a way, it was like, he's like, I can't do it, you know. I just can't beat you. And then, you know, Shawn just slapped him in the face, and then he just went right and just gave him like a jump in tombstone. Absolutely amazing. Number 2, this is my favourite match of all time for quite a while, and then I kind of like re-evaluated things and I've changed it to the top spot. My second favourite match is Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho, WrestleMania 19. Can't tell you how much I wanted to see this match when Shawn Michaels came back. Chris Jericho was one of my favourites at the time, and I loved Shawn Michaels, and seeing them two at WrestleMania was just like a dream match come true. You know, that was bigger than Angle and Brock for me. You know, some people saw that as a dream match. Hogan and Vince, I guess, was kind of an unintentional dream match. But Jericho and Michaels, man, WrestleMania 19, it's just again, I don't want to use the term, it's like a perfect match, you know, the way they worked it was just fantastic, with the similarities between the two, and, you know, Jericho looking up to Shawn, and then, you know, deciding that he didn't want to be the next Shawn Michaels, and it was Shawn's first real HBK match, I think. I mean, his matches with Triple H before that, when he came back, were really good, amazing, but this was the true first Shawn Michaels, straight out, you know, no frills to it, just straight out wrestling classic from Shawn Michaels. It was just amazing. I love it. I can watch it any day of the week. And then my favourite number 1 is this match right here: Triple H versus Cactus Jack, Mick Foley at the Royal Rumble 2000. This is, I'd say, you know, from a kind of worldwide or general perspective, I'd say it is one of the best matches of all time. For me personally, it's one of my favourite matches of all time. Well, it is my favourite match of all time. So I got distracted by my other kitten then. Just check the time. Yep, I'm good. And you know, I remember, like, not to go into it too much, I remember like the next day after it happened, people were talking about it. It was on Channel 4, and they were like, "Yeah, it was Mick Foley and Triple H in a street fight in New York City, and he hit Triple H with his barbed wire, and he was bleeding everywhere." And I literally was picturing Mick Foley and Triple H on the literal streets of New York City, just like bleeding all over each other, and so it was quite different when I saw it from what I imagined. It took me about 6 months to see it, because I got it on video in the summer of 2000, and I mean, I've wrote an article about this. You know, I don't believe it. I'm just gonna explain this. I've got a kitten. Me and my fiance got a kitten, so my mum decided to get a kitten as well, and he is now shitting in my litter box, or my cat's litter box. Alright, I'll just carry I'll carry on the video. I'll carry on the video. You little cunt. Sorry, pardon my language. Right, Triple H and Cactus Jack. I always get distracted in the videos. That's probably why I don't do them that often. The match itself, the pacing is ridiculous. I don't mean that it was fast paced. I mean that the pacing. How can I explain? It's because, you know, not to mention it, but you know, I used to wrestle a lot, and pacing is so important in a match. And the pace is just great, and the psychology as well, and the build up was fucking sick. And just the match itself, just the spots. You know, it wasn't too much. You know, like pile drivers on tables. It wasn't too much blood. You know, it was just the right amount of everything. Triple H just did a great blade job. He really sold the idea of Cactus Jack being this kind of, this badass, you know, mythical kind of just, you know, madman, you know, who could, you know, take his title away from him, and that's what it's all about, making the audience believe that the title can, you know, be won by the challenger. And, you know, it's in Madison Square Garden as well. It couldn't be more perfect, you know. I've used the word perfect too much in this video. And, you know, the finish with the pedigree on the thumbtacks, it's just, and when he kicks out the pedigree as well, it's just brilliant. It's such a good match. You know, I want to watch it now, you know. It's great. Triple H was at his absolute best here. You know, I'd say this is the match where it turned to where he became really, really good. I mean, he'd been great before, but this was the match where he proved that he was going to be one of the best. And Foley was, you know, at his best as well, I think. Absolutely, you know, amazing. Just quickly, matches I'd like to see in the future. Saucy mentioned John Morrison versus Shawn Michaels. Okay, but I'd much rather see The Rock versus Shawn Michaels. I think that would just be so much charisma that it would, in one match, that it would just be so entertaining. And of course, I'd love to see Austin Punk. Just a few more matches that are on my favourite lists, my top 10. I'll just run through them without really talking about them too much. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, WrestleMania 10, awesome. Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect, SummerSlam 91, just incredible. Terry Funk versus Ric Flair, I think that's in 1989 or 1988, the I Quit match for the world title. Just, it's brilliant, it's so good. Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar, No Way Out 2004, love that. And Shawn Michaels versus Mankind, Mind Games 96. Yeah, that's just a few of my favourite matches. Just felt like doing that after seeing Saucy's video. So yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, that's it, cheers. I'm now gonna probably watch the rest of this match because it is fucking awesome.